Here we go. Hi, little angels. We are coming to you again today from our living room. And today we're going to learn about how God is always with us.
And this is our home.
So I have some scriptures to read to you from the Bible, and we'll talk about each one as we go through them. So the first one is from Deuteronomy 2:7. The Lord your God has blessed you in everything your hands have done. He watched over you when you traveled through that huge desert. For these 40 years, the Lord your God has been with you, so you have had everything you need. Now, this verse is talking about how God has always been with us. And this one's talking about how Moses was a great leader of the Israelite tribe. He led the people out of Egypt and through the wilderness for 40 years until the people were ready to enter their new home in the Promised Land. God told Moses that he would allow the Israelites to enter the Promised Land only after they wandered in the desert for 40 years because they doubted him. It was a very hard 40 years, but God never left the Israelites. He was always with them, even though they had sinned against him. So that means God will always be with you too.
Yay!
All right, so our second verse, we have to go all the way to the back of the Bible to Hebrews. And it's Hebrews 11:24-30. So this one's a little bit longer, so hang with me here.
Oh, yeah.
All right, and 24. Moses had faith, so he refused to be called the son of Pharaoh's daughter. That happened after he had grown up. He chose to be treated badly together with the people of God. He chose that instead of enjoying sin's pleasures for a short time. He suffered shame because of Christ. He thought it had great value. He considered it better than the riches of Egypt. He was looking ahead to God's reward. Because of his faith, he left Egypt. It wasn't because he was afraid of the king's anger. He didn't let anything stop him. He saw the one who can't be seen. Because of his faith, he was the first to keep the Passover feast. He commanded the people of Israel to sprinkle blood on their doorways. He did it so that the destroying angel would not touch their oldest sons. The people had faith, so they passed through the Red Sea. They went through it as if it were dry land. The Egyptians tried to do it also, but they drowned. The people had faith, so the walls of Jericho fell down. It happened after they had marched around the city for 7 days. So this verse is showing us how God is always with us. So again, we see that God was with Moses his whole life. Moses started his life as a prince in Egypt, but God was with him and he learned to trust God. God was with him when he left Egypt. God was with him when he led the people through the Red Sea. God was with him when the people were in the wilderness for 40 years. God will also be with you no matter where you go in life. God's love for us is constant. It never ends.
Yeah.
So our last scripture, we go back to Deuteronomy and chapter 31, verse 8. And this one says, the Lord himself will go ahead of you. He will be with you. He will never leave you. He'll never desert you. So don't be afraid. Don't lose hope. So this is one that is showing us that God has promised to always be with us. He will never leave us. What is God telling us to do here? God is telling us that he will go before us, always be with us, and will never leave us alone. What does God not want us to do? He does not want us to be afraid. Well, that's true.
And afraid?
That's right. He doesn't want us to be afraid because he is always with us.
And don't be mean.
That's a good one to remember. So God was with us, God is with us, and God will always be with us.
I was going to say that too.
That's right. That's a good thing to remember. No matter where you go or what you do, God is always with you. So I have some questions to ask you.
You forgot Jesus died on the cross.
That's right. He did. but he didn't stay dead, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we already learned all about that, right? Jesus is alive, and he is with you all the time. So I have some questions, yes or no questions, and you watching at home, you can say yes or no, depending on the answer to each question, and you can answer my questions too. So our first question is, thinking about what we just read in the Bible, is God there for us when we need him?
Yeah.
Yes, of course.
I knew it.
All right, yes or no? God is too busy for us sometimes.
No.
No, of course not. How about, is God only with us when we're happy?
Yeah.
He's with us when we're happy, but not only when we're happy, right? Because he's with us all the time. How about, is God with us when we're sad?
No.
Is he with you when you're sad?
No.
He is with you when you're sad.
Oh.
Because he's with us all the time. So when you're happy or sad, he's with you. Is God with us when we're afraid?
Yeah.
Yes. How about this? Sometimes God goes on vacation and he's away from us. Does God go on
No.
vacation?
No.
Way. God never goes on vacation. You might go on vacation. God will go with you on your vacation. How about this? God was with Moses when he was in the wilderness for 40 years.
No.
Yes,
What?
of course. God was always with Moses. He's always with you. God does not want us to ever be afraid.
Yeah.
That's right. God was with Moses when he was a prince in Egypt.
Yeah.
Yes. God is always with us.
Yeah.
That's right. God is always with us. When you're happy, sad, scared, angry, he is always with you.
I knew
So you never have to be afraid because God is always with you. And I came up with a way that we can remember that God is always with us. We have a craft project for you to do, and Matthew colored his. Do you want to show it? So we call this Flat Jesus because he's
made
flat
out of paper.
and he's little.
It
and
needs paper.
Matthew glued his to a heart so he would remember that Jesus is in his heart. So, and he colored them all nicely, and he's small enough that he could fit in your pocket and go with you wherever you go.
Yeah.
So this is a reminder that Jesus, that God is always with us. So you can print this out, cut it out, color it, and take it with you wherever you go. Have your mom or dad take a picture of you when this flat Jesus is with you, maybe while you're eating breakfast, or you're playing on your swing set, or when you're going to bed, he could lay on your pillow.
Or if you're going to the beach.
If
But
you're going,
be careful if you don't lose it at the beach.
yes. So take a picture of you with your flat Jesus and post it for us so we can see. I would love to see you with your Jesus wherever you are during this time. So thank you so much for joining us here today, and I hope you have a great day. Bye, little angels.
Bye!